Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today is Valentine's Day and I always do a self-love yoga practice. So find a little bit of space to move, a nice open mind, and let's get started. So let's begin in just a nice seated position, whatever that is going to look like for you. You might place your hands on your knees or in your lap. You might close your eyes or just look down to the ground in front of you. But with a slow, deep breath in, bring some length into your spine, and as you breathe out, allow your shoulders to fall from your ears. Take another slow, deep breath in and out. And do that just one more time. A deep breath in and a deep breath out. So good. We're just going to start to reach our arms out wide. And then you might cross your right arm over top of the left. Now you might end up holding your forearms, you might end up holding your elbows, you might end up holding your shoulders. Just give yourself a little hug. Maybe creating some space between the shoulder blades too. And then using an inhale, reach your arms back out. You can start to bring the left arm over top of the right one. And maybe holding your forearms, your elbows, maybe going as far as the shoulders. Give yourself a nice hug. Taking this time just to slow down your day, doing something so good for you, yourself, and you. Reaching your arms out wide again. You can let your hands fall down towards your knees or your lap. If you want a shoulder roll, take a shoulder roll. Let's start to move into tabletop onto our hands and knees. Give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side. Take an inhale and start to drop your belly down. Lift your chest. Look forwards or up a little. As you exhale, round through your spine, give your belly a squeeze, tuck your chin. Inhale as you drop back down, arching through the back. Exhale as you round it out. One more breath here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine. Use an inhale to come back to a long, flat spine and tuck your toes. Lift your knees into downward dog. Push into your hands. Maybe pedal your feet. You could turn your chin from one shoulder to the other shoulder. How is your body feeling today? Does a little sway through the hips feel good? Would you rather be still? You have the opportunity to make choices that feel good for you. Slow, deep breath in, slow, deep breath out. Let an inhale bring your gaze forwards. As you exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take your time, as many small steps as you want. As you inhale, lift your chest halfway, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold forwards. Take an inhale and come all the way up to standing. Reach up, exhale. Let your arms fall down to your sides. A shoulder roll if you want one. A big inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Allow your day, your week to just slip away. Inhale, lift your chest halfway up. And exhale, fold forwards. Plant your hands, start to step your feet back into downward facing dog. Pushing into your hands, stay for an inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees down. to your tabletop. Scoot your knees together. Sit back on your heels. Now, you can either hug your shoulders. You could take this into a reverse hug, or bring your hands to your hips, your hands to your low back, or doing the same thing, trying to hold your elbows, your forearms, maybe your shoulders behind your back. Give your back a little bit of a hug. So we can stay seated here, nice and tall. We could start to tip forward slowly, slowly, without using our hands to help us. Maybe our forehead can come all the way down. And then slowly start to lift back up. Let your hands come back to your lap. Take a shoulder roll if you want a shoulder roll. Now we're going to reach our arms up into the air, and maybe we can give our head a hug with our arms. So what I love to do is actually bring my palms to face out, cross one hand over the other so the palms are together, and that kind of snugs up the arms a little bit more. You can hug your head. Did you know that? If you've practiced with me before, I think you know that. Lengthening the spine, give your head a little squeeze, a little hug with your arms. And then release, relax. Now, if you did cross your hands, do it the other way. Palms out, cross your hands the other way. Maybe it's the left in front of the right this time. Hug your head, little squeeze. So cute, so nice. And then just slowly start to let your arms fall back down. If you are sitting on your knees, like me, if you can just come down so you're sitting on the ground with our legs out in front. Give your knees a hug. Now you can stay here a little longer. You can start to send your left leg out long, keeping your right knee. Now you can hug your right leg as much as you'd like. You might hold the bottom of the quad. You might float your right foot, but you might also keep the right foot down. Point your left toes up. If the right foot wants to float, let it float. You can hang on anywhere to that right leg, hugging your knee towards your chest. And if you are floating your right foot a little, just start to bring it down. Send your right leg out. Bending the left leg, hold on anywhere. Point your left toes up, maybe the top of the leg, maybe under the quads, maybe floating the foot, maybe trying to hold the foot, hugging your knee towards your chest. Awesome, you guys. If your foot's floating, bring it back down. You can bend both of your knees, give both of your knees a nice hug. A nice hug. So, okay, we can stay here with our feet on the ground. Hold the knees, hug the knees, the backs of the legs if you want. If you want to lean back a little, you could do that too to maybe find some balance. But the goal is to just keep everything snug. So whether the feet leave the ground or not, they might be out nice and far. You can play with it. If you're able to hold the feet, hold the legs somewhere, hug everything in. Just make yourself into the smallest surface area possible. And then you can slowly, slowly find your way back, putting our bodies into weird shapes. Let your knees fall out wide, the soles of your feet come together. Bring some length into your spine. You can stay sitting tall, or you can fold forwards. Letting your shoulders fall from your ears. Letting an inhale bring you back up. Help your knees come together again. Take another rock side to side if you'd like. We are going to lay down. And if you Want to bring your knees with you towards your chest, floating your feet, maybe giving your knees a hug. So now you can hold on to just the right knee. You can keep the right knee. You can let the left leg go. But we're going to hold the right knee as close to our chest as we can get it. So maybe you're holding onto the top of the knee, the back of the quad. Maybe you're going to lift your head and your shoulders and try to reach for your foot. Hug the knee as close to the chest as you can get it. If you did lift your head and your shoulders, maybe you're able to lay back down and keep holding on where you were holding on. Now we're going to slowly switch sides. So the left knee can come in, the right leg can go. Maybe you're hugging or holding the top of your knee, the bottom of the quad, the back of the quad. Or maybe you're going to try to reach for the foot. If you have to lift your head and your shoulders, maybe you will try to lay back down and keep everything snug. Now we're just going to start to release that. Your feet can come to the ground for a moment. You can take a sway of the knees. Now we might do the same thing with both of our knees. Lift them back up, hold the tops of the knees, the bottom of the quads, the back of the quads. I don't know why I keep saying the bottom. Or lift your head and your shoulders. Wrap your arms around your legs more or try to reach for your feet. And maybe try to rest your head and your shoulders back down. If you want to get a little bit crazier than this, you might even find some length through your legs. Holding on to the back of the quads, the feet, the knees. And if you did bring some length into your legs, you're just going to start to bend your knees again. You might keep your feet floating and rock side to side. And then you might open your knees up, letting your big toes stay together. You might lift your head and your shoulders again and try to hold the feet. So now we're just in our diamond shape. You might rest your head and your shoulders back down again. And then if you do have your knees out wide, if you're holding your feet so things are a little more snug, just slowly start to let go. Bring your knees together. And then eventually your feet all the way to the ground. Give your knees a little bit of a sway side to side. You can start to extend your legs out long, one leg at a time. And you might rest your hands on your belly. Or maybe your right hand can stay on your belly and your left hand can rest on your chest or your heart. Sometimes all we need is just a few moments of yoga, of putting our bodies into different positions, having fun with ourselves. Happy Valentine's Day, I suppose I should say. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to do more, I've got a few older self-love practices. All mostly the same thing, giving ourselves a couple different hugs in a couple different positions. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day though. Stay here for as long as you have time for. Or maybe carry on with your day. But until next time, namaste.